Hi, everybody. Well, as promised, here's the video on Tony and the update. Well, for starters, today is March 11th, 2025. And Tony is doing all right, as far as I know. He's not physically here with me where I am. And no, I'm not going to say where I am. I am where I am. And if you know where I am, you know where I am. If you don't, you don't. And for reasons I'm not going to get into here. But anyway, that all aside, I want to talk about Tony. This whole mess with Tony has been going on for 23 months now. Almost. Like I said, today's March 11th, 2025. If I accidentally said 24 earlier, I meant 25. It's March 11th, 2025. This mess all started with Tony back on April 16th, 2023. And the reason why I mentioned that date is because my mom was still alive at that point. And in between dealing with the issues with Tony and then the issues with Mom, I mean, it was just, I might have mentioned this in another video, but it was a hot mess. I mean, it really was. It was a hot mess express. And as much as I loved my mom, for the record, just for the record, as much as I loved my mom actually would throw me out of her room and tell me to go see Tony. I am dead serious. She would. She'd say, go see Tony. Or why are you here? Why aren't you with Tony? I'm like, because Tony kicked me. I actually said to her, Tony kicked me out and told me to go kiss my mother. He would. He'd say, go see your mother. Okay. And Mom would do the other way. Go see Tony. Okay, Mom. I actually, and I know for a fact I mentioned this, but there's certain one of Mom's sisters actually called me up the Sunday before Mom died, and I'm in the middle of having a diabetic episode. And this sister ordered me to go see my mom. And I'm like, no, I'm in the middle of taking care of something for me and Tony. I don't think that sister would have paid to get me a new car if I had a diabetic episode and wrecked. That's how I feel about it. And I'm 100% sure she wouldn't. She's like, I didn't tell her that. The heck you didn't, you jerkwad. That's why I was like, nope. And this is how I feel about it. There are times when I have to say, no, I can't do X because, I've got to take care of me. I've got to go do F or G or N or P or what have you because I'm at the point where I need to take care of me. And that's something I wanted to mention in this video, is some people didn't seem to understand that, in between dealing with Tony and Mom, I had to step back and take care of me because it was just like, I'm at the point where I'm okay now, for the most part, and I've got my own drama going on now. But fortunately for me, and this is the good news, I don't have to worry about a whole lot of stuff, And, my biggest worry now is Tony, and taking care of me, which, I'm trying my best to do. It's like two people clapping each other's hands is all. If you want, like the full, unvarnished, undiluted version of what all went down with Tony since April 16th, 2023, there's a whole playlist on here on my channel about what all happened. It's, it's about my book and Tony's medical problem. And there is some GoFundMe, and if you feel like donating, go ahead. I mean, there's those GoFundMes are still out there. I mean, nobody's used them in years. You're welcome to donate. I'm not going to tell you no. I will still get the money and I'll appreciate it. But I just want to let you know, that's up to you. But anyway, I did want to give an update on Tony. And that's the main reason why I'm shooting this video. Well, what it is, okay. Where I left off, we were talking about Tony hopefully getting his prosthetic leg soon. That was last month in February of 25. Well, the good news is he got it last month. He got the leg last month. And, he's not exactly late. Even with the prosthetic leg, we're talking a 6'1", 250-plus pound man. Excuse me. And that's what I drink talking back, and it's not alcohol. Well, anyway, he's in rehab right now as I shoot this video. And other than the fact that his roommate there is an older person, an older gentleman, the man, Tony, is doing okay with his roommate. But as far as, him, going to rehab and doing his thing, he's actually doing pretty good with that. Granted, he's, at the beginning stage of standing up, and it's, the hokey pokey with him right now. Stick your left foot in, stick your left foot out, stick your left foot in, shake it all about. He's basically learning to walk again. Tony can do it if he puts his mind to it. That's how I feel about it. Tony's already able to stand up pretty much. It's just, he needs help with bathing and help getting in and out of the car and, help getting dressed. And, he's okay other than that. He might need a little help walking. He has to get used to the fact that he's got one regular leg and one prosthetic one, and that's just the thing. That's why he's in rehab, is so he can go, okay, I can do this, and, I can walk from point A to point B. It might take him a bit, and he might be on a walker for a little while until he can go, okay, I can do this with a cane. I'll go down to a cane, and then he might be able to walk normally without a cane or a walker or anything like that. But right now we're working on getting him to where he's out of the wheelchair, standing up, and walking maybe with a walker. Right now, that's where we're at right at this point in time. So we will see what happens. We're taking it one thing at a time. And hopefully, Tony's been in rehab since Saturday. This past Saturday, the 8th? Or whatever day it was. So hopefully Mr. Inman will be able to do his thing and be on a walker going forward. I hope. We'll see. That's all I have right now. Other than, it's a work in progress. And we're taking it literally one day at a time, one step at a time. Tony's doing the best he can. I'm okay, for those of you that are wondering. I occasionally catch myself being grateful that certain people, places, and things are out of my life. But, it is what it is, and I'm not complaining. There's nothing to complain about, actually. Other than I wish Tony was well. That's my only gripe right now, is I wish Tony and I were well, but that's something we're both working on at the present. Well, other than that, I want to mention that, certain people and I are getting along just fine, or other people have removed themselves from my life, which is perfectly fine and dandy with me, because, it's like I told my brother, I love it when the trash takes itself out. Well, anyway, I'm not going to leave it on a negative note here. What I do want to say is hopefully, Tony gets it together, and I have another update, talking about, he's getting up and down the steps really good with his leg, and, it might take him an extra 10 minutes, but he's doing it. Well, speaking of steps, he is working on being able to climb steps with his leg, by the way, and he's also practicing getting in and out of a car. He's working on, like I said, being able to walk from point A to point B, but it's going to take him a while. He's only had his leg for 2 weeks, if that, 3 tops, maybe. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know, we're working on it. And that's the good news, is we're getting there. Well, anyway, I hope you all have a good evening, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Have a good day. Bye.